Given that a Scottish departure would impact all 4 nations of the Union, should all Brits have a vote in Indyref2? To debate this, I'll be discussing this issue with my brilliant panellists, the Crankies, Jeanette and Ian Cranky, but also Scottish commentator Stuart Waiton, leader of the Scottish Libertarian Party, Tom Laird, former SNP councillor for Glasgow, Austin Sheridan, and as I said, the Crankies with us shortly as well. If I could start with you, Scottish Waiton, should all Brits have a say in Indyref2?
I can't see how that would work. I think it would be interesting, actually, because it would encourage the politicians to develop a better, hopefully more populist and progressive sense of Britishness, because I'm not sure how much of that they actually have. But I think it's worth making the point about the SNP that they're not really independence party in any real sense. I think they might have a lot of cosmopolitan nationalism, and I suspect they'd like to replace the Scottish flag with the rainbow trans flag. But in any real sense of independence, they don't really believe in it themselves, I suspect. And I think they would be terrified if they actually became independent. And you can see that simply by the nature of the fact that they would want to join the EU straight away. They don't really have a genuine sense of independence and autonomy. They historically as well, I think might have changed it recently, wanted to maintain the Queen and the pound. I think they've sort of backed off from that. But I mean, they really are the least independence movement in the history of independence movements. And even in terms of when you look at their policies, I mean, what they basically do is they use the public as a stage army. So they shout Scotland and boo Westminster when an election comes. And then once that's gone, they introduced all these nanny laws, right, behind the backs of the public. They never stand in elections saying we're going to increase the price of alcohol or make it a hate crime to speak unpleasant words in your own home, or all these other bodies. Like they introduced a thing called the named person, which was going to give every parent a state guardian. So even in terms of the autonomy of the family, the Scottish National Party are the least freedom-loving organisation I've ever come across in my life.
Well, here's the thing, Austin Sheridan, former SNP councillor for Glasgow. For Scotland to leave the United Kingdom will impact all 4 nations. Surely they should have some kind of say.
It will impact all 4 nations, but just the same way that, that the UK leaving the EU would impact the rest of the EU. I don't think anyone would seriously suggest that the rest of the EU should have had a say on the UK voting for Brexit or whether the UK remained. That was a decision for the UK to make. However, there is a window of opportunity, for the rest of the UK, maybe to look at the constitutional setup to see are things working for them. I mean, we look at Wales and how they're looking to expand their parliament and how they're looking at constitutional change. We can see the shift in the north of Ireland there. But I think that in England in particular, we've seen some moves towards, decent devolution. Maybe if you look at Andy Burnham in Manchester and how he's used the mayoral position there. So it's not just about getting the institutions right, it's about getting the people to lead them properly and to actually make them meaningful. And I think that the key could actually be seeing more devolution within England, and I think there's definitely a conversation to be had there. But just in relation to the previous person's comments and everything else that he said could certainly be valid. But, supporting gay rights and trans rights certainly doesn't impact on our country's status as an independent country. And I'm proud, as an SNP politician, that our party is at the forefront of those issues. And I'm certainly not ashamed of it.
Austin, would you include that, the rights of 5-year-old children at primary school to choose their own pronouns irrespective of their parents' wishes?
Well, I don't think it's for anybody else to choose anyone's pronouns, but certainly people aren't being encouraged to choose a pronoun at 5 years old. Essentially what we're saying is that if a young person, at any age, it doesn't have to be 5, it could be younger than 5, if anyone says that is the pronoun that they feel, who is it anybody's right to tell them that that's not right. It's certainly not up to a parent. It's not up to me. It's not up to you.
Stuart?